Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my second Q&A video leading up to the second last episode of The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 15, which is called East. And in this one, we're going to start with talking about what we think about Carol, and could she, fan theory, could she eventually become Alpha? And if you don't know who Alpha is, I did a video about it in the channel, so you can go ahead and check it out. Just click on the channel name to the bottom left, and click the search tool and type in Alpha, and you'll find it. Who is Alpha? So we talked about it. She's a great villain. She's the leader of the Whisperers, which of course come up in the series in a bit, few years in terms of time. Between where we're at right now and when the Whisperers show up, led by Alpha. So she does have some similarities to Carol, and this video or this question was brought up by Monroe, and she says, "Hey Trev, Q&A and possible discussion topic. Now that Carol is off on her own, what do you think of the possibility of her becoming Alpha? Would be interested to hear your thoughts." So I would love to see them use Carol in such a capacity. She's gone through a big transformation this season, and we're not really sure what's going to happen with her in the future. Her future is very unknown. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they had her committing suicide, things like that. I hope not. I wouldn't like that. Rejoin the group or something, getting captured and killed off. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities for what could happen. But I saw this a few times that people are thinking that more and more that she might be a good setup for Alpha. And she does have some similarities with Alpha. You know, she has kind of, in Alpha in the comic book series, has a daughter, named, of course, Lydia. They're coming out with an action figure of Lydia pretty soon, in a few months, which would be pretty cool from the comic book series. So that, some people might see that as a discrepancy, but Carol has been a character that has always attracted kind of as like a motherly surrogate mother figure, younger compatriots. She's kind of been a surrogate mother, so to speak, to quite a few characters now. Of course, her own daughter, Sophia. Then you go on from there, you've got Lizzie and Mika, both of them viewing her as a mother, even though she clearly didn't really want that. But at the same time, she wanted them to survive too. She wanted them to be strong, as Lizzie said there when Woodbury attacked. Or I shouldn't say Woodbury, the governor's secondary group attacked, so to speak. And then we, of course, have Sam. And Sam as well, same type of situation. She didn't really want that, but he kind of views her, he likes the cookies. He kind of views her as a kind of motherly figure. Jesse's got her own thing she's doing, and his dad is, and so he's like, spending a lot of time with Carol, wanting to be around Carol and getting attention from her. So she is a character that definitely does draw in, some of these kids and fill that role. In a zombie apocalypse story like this over the years, I mean, a lot of kids' parents would be killed off, and they'd probably give their lives to save their kids if it came down to it, right, in a zombie apocalypse. So I think it would be a great idea for them to use Carol in such a capacity. That said, I don't know if that's where they're going. There's really nothing to suggest that. We also don't know how long Carol's going to be missing for. Will it be the rest of the season? Will she show up in the finale captured by Negan or something? Will we see something of the sort like this, when we get close to the end? Seems pretty likely that her going missing will be somehow tied into the finale. It'd be a little weird if it wasn't, and that if we were going to season 7 and she was still kind of missing. But she has been a character too that has been forced out by Rick before. It hurts her a lot to see characters in the group being killed here and there, and she may kind of want to just kind of run away from it all, just kind of get away, get out of there, run. So I could definitely see it. I think it's a great theory. I think it's a great idea. And I think in terms of writing, that would be really cool, because a couple years down the road, she could be a totally different character, a totally different, person. And even though maybe she recognizes Rick and the others, if she turns into Alpha, you could still see them, kind of the groups go to war because of her either not seeing eye to eye with the others, or just kind of just being, embracing the darkness, so to speak, of the world of the zombie apocalypse. So I like the theory. I think it'd be really cool. I don't think they're going to do it, but if they did, I would be totally down for it, because I think Carol could make an awesome villain. Don't you guys think? If she went in Shane, don't you think? A good villain. Yeah. So those are my thoughts, May. I hope you like that. Like I said, it's a pretty long shot. I don't see that happening. Next one's from Fletcher Mercer, and he says, Trev, do you think the burn on Dwight's face looked good? And I wanted to add this because I didn't really comment on this in the review. I personally thought it looked pretty good, especially from the side angle, and a few people responded, and a few people thought, yeah, it looks pretty good. I thought so too. I thought it looked pretty decent. It's not overpowering to the point where, like in the comic book series, it's a little bit more overpowering. When he turns to the side, you can really see it, but his eye in that doesn't look, it's quite a bit different from the comic book series. Like, I guess we could see him putting drops in it, that kind of deal. But in the comic book series, I got the sense like it was just wrecked. But they do the best they can. Obviously they're not going to take out one of the guy's eyelids or something. So they do a pretty good job, and they make it subtle, but yet it looks good. It looks natural, which is really cool. And his transformation has been, even though we haven't seen it on camera in kind of a short period of time, has been pretty profound as well too with Dwight, because before he just didn't want anything to do with it, and now he's almost like he's embraced the spirit of the Saviors. He's embraced it, and he's acting just like Negan, so at least in a lot of ways, which is fun. So I guess if you can't beat him, join him, right? Type deal. So, and he certainly isn't going to cross him anytime soon, even if he does actually hate Negan. So I don't think Dwight's really loyal to anybody, really one way or another, no matter who he's with or under or anything. He's kind of crafty, so he's an interesting character. And I liked the makeup. I thought it looked pretty good. The only thing I would say is I thought it'd be a little bit more dramatic from the straight on, but they do the best they can, so it is what it is. Next one's from Complecks, and he says, Q&A comment / thought for you, Trev. Since Dwight kills Denise, there is no way Daryl would let Rick join with Dwight later in the series, thus making it so Daryl has to die for that to be the route they go. Just wanted to hear your thoughts and opinions. Keep up the great work. The whole idea with that. So that's tricky because, like we said originally, it'd be weird if you had two guys with crossbows. They're very similar. They have a lot of similarities, and absolutely, Daryl does want Dwight to pay, and he wants to go after him, even when he's running away. Even though you've got, character like, I guess I could say, spoiler warning, you got Denise there, she's got an arrow in her face, or an eye, and Eugene's hurt, and everybody, they got to carry them back and stuff, and he still wants to go after him. He's really pissed at what Dwight has done, and almost at himself too for saving Dwight and for not killing him originally, or even just letting the group get him back sooner. So, but like you said, he should have killed him, should have done it. So, I love the face-off. I watched it again, like the face-off between Dwight and Daryl. That was an intense scene, man. That was really awesome. They did a great job of that, and wow, man, really, really good. So, yeah. But you might be right about that. That's the biggest thing, man. I just can't wait to see the finale for the future of the series. I mean, if they are to kill off Daryl, which is it's kind of all over the internet at this time, that a lot of people are feeling that that's probably what it's going to be. It'd just be such a huge change in the series. We'll talk about it if that's what happens, but and then maybe Dwight takes the crossbow. It'll be hard though for people to forgive Negan and forgive Dwight if they do kill Daryl. So, and then take his trademark weapon. Next one is from Rick Grimes, and he says, hey Trev, do you think Morales will ever return? So I usually ignore these, but I'll say it here. If he doesn't show up with the Saviors, we'll probably never see the character ever again. I don't think we'll ever see him again. I'd say right off the bat, anyway, I don't think we'll ever see him again. I don't think he will, no. But if he was with the Saviors, I would be quite surprised, and I think it could actually work out good if they were to bring him in for the finale in that. I don't think the actor would be that expensive to get. I don't know what other projects he's got and that kind of deal, but I don't think it'd cost him that much. It'd probably be worth it for the impact, and then he could be like, if he was one of the Saviors, be like, officer friendly from down the road a ways. Wow. I mean, them meeting under that circumstances would be just something else, right? For sure. Next one's from HarlieReadsYA, and she says, hey Trev, as we all know, The Walking Dead loves its metaphorical and foreshadowing shit. Nice. Nice use of the word shit. Seeing as Daryl was lying in the same position as the biker zombie, was stabbed where the wings on his vest and Denise just happened to have a brother whose name sounds like hers. Merle and Daryl, kinda. And he kept, I'm not sure where we're going with this, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. He's managed to escape death twice in this season, and he's the one who saw all the pictures with the okay, so now she's talking about Glenn, same with Glenn. So then she says at the end, because the show does have so many symbolic moments that do come around full circle, it would just feel wrong if one of them didn't meet an end of their story arc in the finale. Well, they're definitely, you're right about one thing, they're definitely both set up for it, I think, either way, whichever way they go, or both ways. Even Carol, though, too, she's in a weird place right now also. So, you could definitely see, you can make a case for any of them, I think, if you're doing a prediction to be killed off. But there's no way to say what they're going to do because they could trick us, which I did not see Denise being killed off, and it wasn't spoiled for me. So I was pretty surprised. I kind of knew what was happening when it was happening when she started piping off. But that was pretty crazy. So we'll do a couple more here. Next one's from 2008 ReadsYA. And he says, do you agree with Josh McDermott's statement from The Talking Dead that the survivors are living, quote-unquote, paycheck to paycheck? And then he says, I tend to agree. No one but Eugene has been thinking long-term with the sorghum and bullets. Now that their doctor is dead, no one has any kind of medical training except maybe Abraham and Rosita's military training. It doesn't appear Denise trained anyone for a future backup, and I'm surprised Morgan hasn't trained anyone. Yeah, you're right. That is true. Now they're without a doctor, so could they be going back to Atlanta to the hospital? Maybe try to grab a doctor there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if anything like that comes about, or if how they work in another one. If I guess you don't really, for a story, you don't really need one, but it's definitely good to have one if you if you can. But there is the one at the hilltop too, right? So. They could always, if they got somebody injured, they could bring them to the hilltop later on once they, kind of get a better relationship with them. And so there's that too, right? So kind of bring in the hilltop part as well. So I guess it's not absolutely it's a disaster, but it's not a total disaster 100%, I guess, because they do have one there. So it is, that is something there. So the part about the first part, paycheck to paycheck, yeah. It's true. I like Josh. Josh McDermott is really, really smart, really funny too. Actually, he's a perfect choice for Eugene. I think they did a great cast with Michael Cudlitz and him as Eugene and Abraham. They've just got some great one-liners and everything, and he's really, really smart. And yeah, that's true, man. They no matter how good they get it, they're still living on borrowed time, so to speak. They're one thing away from. Being killed either without even realizing it, or a zombie or something. And, in terms of their food, they're almost running out, and then they just finally get some more, and it lasts, but it doesn't last forever, and then they're out again, and then they run into another villain. So it's, they're definitely, the story is set up to put them through some trials and tribulations, that's for sure. And I agree with his statement there. And we'll do one or two more. Next one's, do you think Carol was being selfish to bail on the group because she didn't want to kill for them anymore? So do I think she's being selfish? Well, I think Morgan did confuse her quite a bit. I think so. And it's not good. But do I think she's being selfish? She's done her part already. So I guess so. But she's already done more than anybody could have expected her to do in the series. So I don't think we can really judge her like that based on what she's done in the past before, saving the group so many times and everything she's done. I don't really think that we can do that. It doesn't make sense to fault her for it if that's what she wants to do at this point. She's earned the right to have freedom if that's what she wants, and she doesn't want to be part of the group and she just wants to leave. They should let her do so if that's what she really wants to do. And then the last one from him or her, 2008 ReadsYA also is, do you think the writers chose to kill off Denise because the plot was too fantastical to have a fully trained medical doctor in the world of The Walking Dead? Well, no, because like I said, the Hilltop has one too. And I don't think it is fantastical, because if a group has a doctor, that is going to be their, one of their most important people in that group. So if you have, of course you've got your leader, so it'll be Rick, Gregory, they're going to protect them. But their doctor, too, is going to be somebody who they're really going to want to protect. Like, I'm surprised Daryl and Rosita let Denise even leave at all. They probably should have said, no way, you're way too important, it's too dangerous out there, we can't risk it, no chance. So that's what it is, right? So they're very valuable, so they're going to be protected. It's like at the hospital, for example, with Dawn's group, where the cops keep them safe. And in payback, the doctors have to help them if they need it. So, yeah, man, good stuff. So I'll call it here for today's Q&A. I think that's good for now. And, of course, keep sending me your questions, guys, for tomorrow, the next day, and I'll do another one. Yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, you can thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one today. See you guys again tomorrow. As always, it's Trev. Say peace. See you guys.